Hi, I'm Steve, 84XT, and welcome to Ham Radio Portable. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that now and give it a like if you would. Today, this video is going to be about answering a couple of questions I've gotten recently on how I get my antenna ropes up in the trees. What method do I use to deploy that? Well, it's very simple. It's cheap and it's quiet. The old-fashioned slingshot. Stick around and I'll show you some things that I do, how I do it, and we'll go launch a few lines up in the tree. Okay, I have laid out on the table here a lot of things I have used in the past and some things I use now, but I thought I'd put them all out here on the table and get a glimpse at them, and we'll go over them. Okay, I've got my table of goodies here. Some of it I've used in the past and don't use anymore, but some I do. So let's go over some things I don't use real quick. Used to throw a golf ball like this or a baseball, screw you an eyelet in there, and yeah, that'll get you over some small trees. It depends on how far you can throw. And I've used the old water bottle trick, about 1/3 of the water in it, and tie some paracord over and swing it over. But don't use those anymore. I mainly have switched over to a slingshot. Saves the shoulder a little bit better. This is mine I've been using. It doesn't have the wrist support, but that makes it a little bit smaller. Picked this one up today at Walmart. It's just the old cheap daisy slingshot. It's $6.95, I think it was. I needed an extra band. I recommend always carrying one of these. Now, these are not real professional slingshots, but you can have fun with them, and launches a weight over a tree limb very good. And I'll show you right here the weight I use. The weight I use is a 1/2 ounce egg sinker, just like this one. I've got some colored mason twine tied onto it to find it quickly, and I can see it going through the air also. And here's the package. It doesn't actually say the weight on it. It says size 1 PDS4, but I couldn't find the package, but they're 1/2 ounce sinkers. And I went through a lot of different trial and error on what pound test line to use, and for my use I finally centered on 12-pound test line, and I use something that's very bright. That helps a lot. Both of these are 12-pound test line, probably for catfish or something lightweight like that. And I also use a spinning reel. Now, I know most people probably don't use a spinning reel for simplicity. Most of the designs I've seen have used a spin cast reel, exactly like this Zebco here. And I've made one with that before too, but you're limited on how far you're going to be able to get that to shoot up in the air. It generally has higher pound test line on it and lower capacity on the reel, and there's more friction on a spinning reel. You know, just if you have any fishing background, you already know that there's nothing like a spinning reel to really cast as far as you possibly can with whatever weight combination you got. So I have paired the 1/2 ounce weight with a spinning reel with 12-pound test. That combination seems to work. I've experimented with a little heavier test, and the amount of distance it takes off and may not fall through the canopy, it's just what works for me. So that's what I've kind of stuck with, and I've been using it for over a year now, just like that. Another thing I'm going to test out today is some new cord that I've just purchased. I think I'm going to make the switch over to Dacron rope over paracord. I've got two types of paracord here, and this is 3/16 Dacron rope, and already I can tell that the Dacron rope feels so much slicker. And I think that'll have a big difference going over a limb or down through any canopy. Neither one of these ropes have been left out for any length of time, but they feel very coarse over just what use. They're probably a year, 2 years old, but not left outside permanently. So let's take it up to the test field up here and demonstrate it. Okay, I'm at my little test site here. Got a tree picked out. I've used this tree before testing antennas. Got a first limb that's in a nice clear area, about 30 foot. A good spot for a short little test. Let's give it a shot. Okay, I've got my reel positioned, aimed at the target. I use a military tent stake and some wire ties to anchor it down in the ground. I position the first section of this rod directly at the tree or the limb, and I position it behind me. My slingshot is right there, and my target tree is right in front of me, along with the first limb right there. Let's give it a shot. Open my bail. One last look to make sure everything looks good. And we fire it away. And if you drag it right back, just a little technique I've learned over the time, that I can take the line and stop it, which is another good safety factor, having the reel behind you. If you see where the shot's bad, you can stop it real quick. Okay, my reel is right here. Over the tree limb. Actually went over a couple of limbs I didn't mean to, but that's okay. And I was able to drop the weight right here. Probably 10 steps from me. So that's good. I'm all in the clear, ready to tie up. Let's see how this new Dacron rope pulls over. Okay, it's all tied off. Let's go reel it in. Okay, I've got the camera positioned on this. Let's see how it does. Drag a bit. And it looks like it's bouncing great. Let's see if 100 foot is going to be enough, because I went way over. Give it time to. Man, I'm already liking this this Dacron rope. That's 100 foot. Okay, this is where I'm winding from, and my end is already over, and I'm already liking this Dacron rope. It just slides through the canopy. The other end is right here, and I went way over the limb that I wanted to go over, so I'm probably over a 50-foot limb, so it is ready to tie off on whatever you want to tie off. An end fed, a center connector of a dipole, you are ready to go. Some final thoughts for today. Well, I think the slingshot method is a winner. With a spinning reel, set it up behind you for safety. Keep an eye on the bail and the line before you shoot it, and you can have lots of fun. Get your line up real high. These Slingshots are cheap. $6.99 I believe at Walmart. Get you an extra band for it, and I think it's a fun, simple way to get your line up high in a tree. And the Dacron rope today, 3/16 Dacron rope. I am really impressed with this. I think I'm switching over from the standard 550 paracord. I know it's more durable long term at your shack if you're running lots of cord, but portable, it's skinny, it's slick, and it slides through the canopy real well. The line winders, I've had them 2 years and never used them. Work great. You can find them on eBay, 3D printed, looks like. Those work good. And that's about it. Oh yeah, I promised you a trick on paracord winding. Let me show you that real quick. This is what it looks like when it's wound up. I mean, if you've ever had paracord tangles in the field, I used to start out spending more time untangling my cord than anything. I grab my loop and just pull it. This is 50 foot and you can pull it, all of it, without a tangle, complete 50 foot without a tangle. And what I do for winding, let me get a little bit closer. Let me show you how I wind this paracord back up and keep it in the view. Just take one end and just put you any kind of loop in there, just a small little overhand loop, something like that, just a loop. And what you do is you take it and you put it on your pinky finger there. And what you're going to actually use is just your index finger and your thumb, and they're going to be kind of your winding tool there. So just take it and go over behind your index finger like that, and then around your thumb. And what you want to do is wrap in a figure 8. You're not wrapping around and around like this. You want to stay with a figure 8. Figure 8. I'll do it slow to get started. And I've learned this, I don't know, it must be a Boy Scout technique or something. You can take a stick and do this, but I found that when I was out first deploying, you know, lines and ropes and string and stuff like that with ham radio, I spend more time untangling my paracord than I did getting it up in the air. So I come up with a better system. It works for me, and it'll work for 50 foot very easily on 550 paracord. You can go up to 60, 75 foot. But when you get about 4 foot of length out there, you want to take it and grip it and pull it off of your thumb and finger, but keep it bunched together like that. Get it off your little finger, all right? And you're going to have it just in a bunch like that. And you want to start up here where the loop is and wrap a coil, and then come back over top of that first coil, and then from there just go down and make a nice tight wrap. And when you get to the very end, take it and tuck it under one of the coils and kind of cinch it tight. And that makes a really tight, throw it in your pack, it's not going to come loose, and when you get ready to deploy it, it's always there. You know, the long end with the loop is the one you grab it and go. And that's the method I use. Works every time, tangle free. Thank you for watching. 84XT Steve for Ham Radio Portable. Hope you enjoyed that. Like and subscribe, and we'll catch you again on the next video. 73. Another tip I use for making those really long shots is Reel Magic. It's made for fishing reels and rods, and what you do is it's like a lubricant for the line, and you just take some wet your line and your guide down, and that soaks in, and that will allow really for a good long shot. I mean, you'll pick up 20-25 foot on an average shot with good line.